Here is exactly how we created this AI UGC video in literally just 5 minutes.
Why does no one talk about food noise? I was thinking about food all day. What's for dinner? What's in the fridge? Then I started Thin Mix. That hungry voice in my head went quiet. I didn't even notice till it was just gone.
Now this really is the simplest way to be able to generate AI UGC, and it really does take no longer than just a couple of minutes. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to be using Flora. Now I personally highly recommend Flora. It's one of the best and simplest tools that we use for our workflow, primarily for testing, generation and prompts and the connectivity between different tools. And it's one of the easiest tools you can actually just get your head around from a familiarity perspective and from the purposes of UI. So first and foremost, as you can see on the left here, we have this don't touch node. Now at this point, we've spent months and months refining this specific node, and what this does is it encodes the system with the most effective way as a prompt engineer to use Cdance 2.0. Now Cdance is the tool in question for how we generate the video in the end, but of course it's incredibly important that we are using Cdance effectively, but also using it to its highest potential, because of course it's a very effective tool, but there is also such a variance and a gap between the results that people get, and that is primarily because 9 times out of 10 most people don't understand actually how to use the tool effectively. Now this exact input here has been taken from months and months of testing, trying and failing with different prompts and different generations until we have got to the point where we fully understand the actual specific prompt that is the most likely for Cdance to generate an effective output. So as you can see here, we have a whole variety of different things where we talk about the specific structure that we expect the output to actually follow. We even give detail around Cdance 2.0, how it's ByteDance's video generation tool, the typical length that most video outputs max out at, as well as the prompts themselves, how it understands UGC aesthetics and what actually it should look like. We also have hard constraints here in terms of the length of the video, like I said, the character references, the face and audio references, the person themselves, and what to reference and when to reference it. As you can see, we have a very detailed prompt structure with regards to the opening line, the character description, the dialogue itself, the style, all the way down to actually what the camera should look like. We have the setting, we have the voice, the time to beat breakdown, rules when it comes to revealing the product, as well as the format specification as well. Then we have some compression rules in terms of what the setting should look like, what the voice should look like. If the prompt is over 2000 characters, it's incredibly important to actually compress this. This is by far the most important thing that you can encode into your system in the first place, because it specifically, strictly identifies and puts constraints around what the output should look like. As you can see, no preamble, no explanation, no summary, no notes, no character count line, no bullet points, no closing remarks. The response must begin with the words, "The character does a UGC video," and ends with vertical 916 phone selfie aesthetic. This is based on all of our learnings of what generates the best output with Cdance 2.0, and therefore allows us to generate the best possible prompt that we know is going to generate the best output. So as you can see in this specific example, we have then ourselves in this top section inputted our required fields. We have the look and feel of the persona, so an Australian woman around 30 years old. We have the B-roll where we mention the packet, the product itself being ripped and emptied into a glass of water. We have the setting in the morning in a kitchen, and we also have strict guidelines that it must follow the script below with no variations. We have the voiceover, which is the script that we've written ourselves. Why does no one talk about food noise? I was thinking about food all day. What's for dinner? What's in the fridge? Then I started Thin Mix, and a week later, that hungry voice in my head went quiet, and I didn't even notice till it was just gone. So then based on that specific input that we have done manually, and then this background, the context like I have just explained, it then goes ahead and provides us with the actual prompt itself that is then ready for us to encode into the Cdance model. So once we have the prompt, we then have to combine that with the reference images. So as you can see manually, we have gone ahead and tested a few different variations using Nano Banana Pro here and GPT Image 2 to test different outputs, and which gives us the highest likelihood of something that looks good. Now we've tested this a lot, and through this generation, Nano Banana Pro was the best, but I would strongly recommend you just test the two. You generate outcomes with both and you see which you think looks the best. Now we decided to go with this creator down here because I think, in my opinion, she looks a lot more realistic, a lot more lifelike. This one here just has that slight AI feel to it, whereas this one, in my opinion, looks a lot more authentic, a lot more natural. And also, I think this is much more aligned with the persona of the target audience. So then at this point, we have the reference of the actor and what we would like the person to look like. We have our inputs and we have the prompt with regards to the script and what we would like the person to say in the video. We also then finally have just added very simply from the website images of the product. We have the drink itself and then we have the sachet, which as mentioned in the specific prompt up here, they are pouring that into the drink. Obviously we have the B-roll where we talk about the product being ripped and emptying into a glass of water and the powder coming out of the packet being pink because that is aligned with what the product looks like. So then we go ahead and create the final node, which is the Seedance 2.0 reference. We are connecting both the initial prompt, then the actual video prompt, the image of the person that we are using in the video, and then the two references of the images. And then just like that, very simply, as you can see here, we have our output based on those prompts. So then just like that, in literally 5 minutes, we were able to produce a video of this standard. In my opinion, this is incredibly high quality with regards to the level of standard you can expect from AI and really what AI has the ability and capability to do at this stage. Very simple to recap. Go ahead and prompt your system setting with these baseline foundational rules in terms of what the prompt should and shouldn't say. Then input the prompt yourself in terms of the look, the B-roll, the feel, the location, what's strict, and the voiceover. Generate your image using GPT Image 2 or Nano Banana Pro. Then combine that with the prompt, add images of your product for the B-roll, and use Seedance 2.0 to generate the video. Super quick tutorial today, but I hope you found this one valuable. If you have any comments, leave them below in terms of what you would like to see next. And if not, I'll see you in the next one.